Hello, welcome to my reaction video for European World Cup qualifying from yesterday's games, technically the day before since it's just after midnight here, uh, in groups D, G, and I. So in Group D, we had the Republic of Ireland go up against Georgia on the road. I knew this was going to be a tricky match. This was a match that I worried that Republic of Ireland could drop points in, and lo and behold, they did, because it is not easy to play anywhere in the Caucasus Mountain region, particularly in Georgia. So Georgia is one of the most improved teams in Europe. I would not even call them a minnow anymore. Them getting a result at home against Ireland is nothing short. Is not a surprise. So they were going to play spoiler in this group to somebody. They got a 1-1 draw. Meanwhile, it allowed Serbia to solidify first in the group, 2 points ahead of Ireland with 15 points after their 3-0 victory over Moldova at home, which was pretty much an expected result. You know, the results that you kind of have to get against lesser sides. Moldova, along with Georgia, are the two weakest teams in this group, but Georgia is very noticeably better than Moldova. That's why Ireland's result on the road could be forgiven. But Serbia now tops the group with 15 points. They will be looking to the return to the World Cup. Serbia tends to qualify for every other World Cup. They miss one, they qualify. They miss one, they qualify. That seems to be the pattern. Although in 2006 they did qualify back when they were merged with Montenegro. They qualified as the nation Serbia and Montenegro before qualifying independently in 2010. So they look like they're in position to qualify directly. They are on top of Group D right now, but it is a very, very close race right now between the top three sides. And the third side I haven't mentioned yet is Wales. So let's get into Wales. Well, 17-year-old, I forgot his first name, but his last name is a young kid by the name of Woodburn. Came on as a substitute, and within 300 seconds of coming on, scored the winner, which was an absolute screamer just outside the box for Wales. Sometime in the 70th something minute, that gave Wales the 1-0 home victory against Austria. And honestly, in a qualifying group where Wales has been struggling and it looked like it's a two-way race between Serbia and the Republic of Ireland, Wales really, really needed this victory to come back into the conversation of finishing somewhere in the top two. They are now on 11 points, so they are 2 points behind the Republic of Ireland. They still have to play Ireland at home, so maybe Wales can make a last-minute surge and end up in that playoff spot, or maybe even win the group if Serbia slips up really badly. But either way, it is looking like a three-way race for only two spots. And Wales desperately needed this because they were, at some point, I believe, they were 4 or 5 points behind Ireland and Serbia, and it looked like they would be out of the conversation, but now they are back. So well done to Wales. Elsewhere in the group, Austria are pretty much done. They're sitting on 8 points. They lost to Wales. They needed to get something out of that match on the road. They couldn't do it. So they are now 5 points behind. Excuse me, they are 7 points behind Serbia, 5 behind the Republic of Ireland, 3 behind Wales. They're not totally out of it yet, but it's looking like Austria will probably finish in 4th in this group. At least that's how it looks. In group, G. I actually watched a lot of the Spain versus Italy match, and people think I'm crazy when I said Spain is the second best team in Europe behind Germany. Everyone keeps saying France or Italy are better than them, or Portugal's better than them. Guys, they still got it. Spain has still got the mojo. I still believe that 2014 crashing in the group stages at the World Cup was mostly a fluke. They thrashed Italy. Now, the first goal of a free kick by Isco, I believe it was fantastic. I saw most of this match. The way that Spain played counterattacking wise. Some wonderful passing from Sergio Ramos, finding Morata. Spain looks dangerous. They look like World Cup contenders to lift the trophy next year. I think they are one of the 3 or 4 favorites. They are in very good shape at the moment. Lopetegui seems to have gotten this team back in their stride, have a lot more confidence now after the Euro 2016 disappointment. And they look like they're going to top this group. They have 19 points right now, I think. Unless they slip up, it's unlikely Italy will catch them. So I was not expecting this to be such a comfortable victory for Spain, though, 3-0. I did think Spain was going to win, but in my mind I thought 1-0. But a 3-0 thumping, really it has to be considered a thumping given on the way you look at the on-the-field play between the two teams. Spain was predominantly the better side and could have scored more. So as far as how Spain goes and whether or not they're still going to decide to play with the false 9 or have Morata up top as their main striker, that sort of remains to be seen because Lopetegui could still tinker lineups a little bit and find what's the right mold for this Spanish side. But either way, guys, I believe Spain has returned to the pinnacle of global football, and look out for these guys at the World Cup next year. Italy is Italy. They are a classic team. They are very difficult to beat. And when they go to the playoffs, I feel sorry for whoever gets them in the playoffs. Because whoever gets Italy in the playoffs, I give almost no chance of beating them. Because Italy is just Italy. You expect to see the Italian national team at the World Cup, So, and I believe they are a top 10 team in the world as well. So they are no joke. Elsewhere in the group, Israel versus Macedonia. I'm a little bit surprised that Israel lost at home. I know Macedonia is an improved side, but I was still expecting Israel to get the victory at home, even though I thought it would be narrow. My prediction was like a 2-1, because Israel themselves are like a third-tier side in Europe. They're not a bad team at all. We talk about minnows. Israel was never a minnow. They've always been a third-tier side in Europe, always threatening to finally break through to the second tier, but never quite getting there. But it has to be considered a massive disappointment because Israel, even though they're most likely playing for pride, you think they were going to make a strong case for third place in this group. But Macedonia with the surprise road win, it's looking like Israel might finish 4th or maybe even lower. Albania versus Liechtenstein. I mean, you should beat Liechtenstein. Albania got the 3 points. They are sitting in 3rd right now with 12. They are 4 points behind Italy. Can they catch up to Italy? Most likely not, because even if they beat Italy in their next game, they're still a point behind them. Maybe if they were 3 points, but that doesn't seem likely. So guys, this group is mostly about Spain and Italy, and has to who finishes 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's between the Albania, Israel, and Macedonia to sort out. But right now, it's looking like Albania. And then in Group I, in my opinion, the toughest group of European qualifying for 2018, we have Ukraine against Turkey, getting a crucial home victory over the Turks. 2-0 victory, both goals scored by Andriy Yarmolenko. This win puts Ukraine at 14 points. I believe they're behind Croatia by 2, who are sitting on 16. But they are now, I believe, 1 ahead of Iceland, which is very important because playoffs, guys. Speaking of Iceland, you had a feeling that Finland were going to get their revenge on Iceland from Iceland stealing that victory at the last minute a few months ago, winning 3-2. Finland's revenge always felt like it was a long time coming, and it was a deserved victory with a beautiful goal scored by Alexander King to give Finland the 1-0 victory in their first victory of qualifying, giving them 4 points, already eliminated, but still it's a good victory for the Finns. Iceland sitting on 13. I believe one of their key players was sent off to a red card. That's really not good because you want to have your best lineup in the return fixture in a couple of days. But still, Iceland at 13 points, they're still a very strong candidate to come in second or even win the group still. Croatia versus Kosovo. That match was suspended due to bad weather, but it was replayed, I think earlier today with Croatia winning 1-0. Sort of came close to dropping points against the weakest opponent in the group. Not something you want to do, but Croatia did just about enough to get all three. They're on 16 points now at top of the group. They're most likely the favorite to win the group and qualify directly. So, guys, this group is a four-way race for the top two spots between Croatia, Ukraine, Iceland, and Turkey. They are all separated by each other by, just a few points, I think. The big winners of the day were Ukraine getting that home victory against the Turks. They almost got the victory on the road in Turkey, but they settled for a draw there. So, in my opinion, who's going to come in first in this group? I do think it'll ultimately be Croatia. And I think as far as second is concerned, I think the match between Iceland and Ukraine in Iceland will be the decider in who gets second. As for who gets second, that still remains to be seen. But I think this is the toughest group. So, all in all, from these three groups, who really helped their case in qualifying? Well, Wales, Serbia, and Ukraine, in my opinion. And Spain, but you pretty much already expected Spain to qualify no matter what the result was yesterday with Italy. So, Group G is relatively mostly decided, and Groups D and I are up in the air. So thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe. I will see you tomorrow. So this is my last video of the night. See you tomorrow. Much love and peace out.